We live? Hold up. Okay. We're live. Hello. Oh, it's that time again. TEotYLS. Yes. What's new? I don't know. Not a lot's new. Um. Uh. What was I? I forgot. Probably wait a minute for people to pop in before I get into shenanigans. Ooh, this was a good year for movies and stuff. Um, we good? Cool. Let's see. Ugh, my lips are so chapped. What was I gonna do? Right, so yeah, I'm just waiting for people to pop in before I get into shenanigans, as I said. Oh, my back. Oh, good God. I'm just on the phone. This is quite awkward, I would say. This is quite awkward, I would say. Oh, oh, my nose. I'm sorry, I have a cold. As I'm saying to no one. Oh, two people. Sweet. Awesome. Awesome sauce. Is my mic working? I hope it's working. I can't hear anything because I don't have earbuds and my. Oh, that's weird. Hold up. My back just hurts so much. Hold up. Let's see. Got any? All right. Boom. All right. It's been like 5 minutes. I might as well just get into it now. So, if you're new to TEotYLS, it's the end of the year live stream where I just yap about movies and shows that I watched. I only watched one TV show this year. Well, one TV show that came out this year at least. It was so good, but I'll get into that later. I gotta throw this out. Jeez. It's just a candle. I don't know. Okay. So what did starting off right this year, The Beekeeper. Beekeeper was fun. It was really fun. I did a review on it. Just getting my thoughts out of the way. Beekeeper was like it was fun. David Ayers, good director. Jason Statham is, fun action star, all this stuff. It some of the elements, so, it's possessed. Ooh, Batfleck is possessed, y'all. Um, what was I gonna say? The there were some like twists that were pretty fun. Um, Action scenes were killer. Um, anything? Oh, Josh Hutcherson was really good. Uh, Great actor. Um, yeah, he was pretty good villain, honestly. I never expected him to play the villain of the movie, but hey, he was pretty good. Um, let's see. So I saw that in January. That was the only movie I saw in January. Oh God, moving on to the wrong limb here with Miller's Girl. Oh good God, that movie was awful. Um, that so Miller's Girl. It was like I'm pretty sure it was a straight to streaming movie as deserved. It was so it's has Jenna Ortega. It follows this. Uh, it's one of those situations where okay, it's so weird because she's a student, right? But I don't know if she's a high school student or a college student or a whatever. I don't know. This movie was so bad at explaining anything. It it felt like it was written by a 13-year-old on Wattpad who was in the mood, if you know what I mean. But it's one of those situations where she's like, "Oh, I need to get my grades up," and he's just like, "Okay, write me a paper. It can be anything." And so she basically writes him a corn on the cob. Um, but so she writes the paper, but then he gets mad at her for writing the paper, and which is not how he felt when he read the paper. Um, but oh, it was so bad. It was so bad. Such a bad movie. I feel so bad for Jenna Ortega, who starred in that utter garbage. And at the end of the movie, the teacher gets arrested, I think. But like every moment the between the student and the teacher was just so uncomfortable, and any scene without them was boring. It's such a bad movie. So bad. Um ugh. What that was I thought that came out in February. I guess it came out in January. Um Argyle. Argyle was fun. Argyle was a fun movie. Yeah. It feels like in my opinion, Argyle is like the Scream, and so in the sense that like Scream was a satire on like slasher movies. I feel like Argyle is like a satire on like spy movies, and it was really fun, really fun. It was a bit hard to follow at times, but I mean, the twists just kept coming, and it was really fun. Ugh, burpees. Um, let's see. That was Argyle. Yep, Argyle was very fun. Henry Cavill in that haircut was ridiculous, though. It's ridiculous. Um, Bob Marley. Bob Marley One Love. That It was a good movie. You know, it's that typical formula. The how it doesn't really go through like his whole story. It's just like instead, I feel like it just follows his like it doesn't follow his like rise to stardom, but instead it just like starts in the middle of his career and then his release of Exodus and then his death. And yeah, to just take that and turn it into like a how long was it? Wasn't it like 240? Bob Marley. Oh, Bob Marley movie. How long was it? How long was the movie? It was an hour 40. Okay. Kingsley Benadir was great as Bob Marley. It was really good. Um, oh yeah, Michael Gandolfini was in it too. He was really good. Lashana Lynch was really good. Yeah, it was just really good movie. Obviously, I don't think it'd be an Oscar contender, but it was a great movie. Definitely a good watch. Um, oh God, Madam Web. Madam Web was awful. There's no easy way to put it. Well, I guess there is an easy way to put it. It was bad. Um, I was kind of excited for it, I guess you could say. Um, and then I was watching it. I was watching it in the theater, and I was like, "Wow, this is okay." And then I watched it in the theater, and I was like, "Wow, this is fine, I guess." And then and then I was driving home and I was thinking about the movie, and there were just so many plot holes and editing errors that I noticed that were just piling up and piling up and piling up, and I was like, yeah, that movie was garbage. That was so bad. The costumes, the costumes, the costumes were actually. eh, eh, just such a bad movie. Such a bad movie. Um, I feel so bad for everyone involved on that project. Um, Sony, why haven't you learned your lesson yet? Well, I guess they just did with Craven the Hunter. Um, More on that later, though. Boba Fett. I don't know anymore. My apologies. I'm quite sick. Dune Part 2. Best. Probably one of the best movies I've seen. Definitely in my top 5. Um, Dune was awesome. Uh, Great production design. Um, the I really liked Paul Atreides, and his not really his arc, was sort of just like the waterfall that he goes down. You know, um, because he starts out as this, because it's a 2-part movie, right? So it's sort of like an event thing. You have to. I feel like you have to watch the first movie in order to understand the rest of it. Which, by the way, when I first saw the first movie, I thought it was like, wow, this is boring. And then I watched it again in prep for Dune Part 2, and I was just like, wow, why did I think this was boring? This was so good. Probably because I was, like 11 when I first saw it. No, I wasn't 11. What am I saying? I was I was 13. Um, I'm 16 now. Christ. Um, but Dune Part Two is best movie. It was. Oh my God, Austin Butler as Feyd-Rautha was probably the best villain from 2024 movies and stuff. Colin Farrell's Penguin though. Anyways, what was I gonna say? Am I still ranting about Dune? Yes, I am. Yeah, Dune was. It was. I've said it so many times, but it was great movie, incredible movie, awesome movie. I feel ashamed that it only has 3 Oscar noms because that movie deserves way more. I think I don't understand if it doesn't get a Best Picture nomination, then I'm gonna riot. Because that movie was just so good. The production design, the costume design, the makeup, the cinematography. Greg Fraser is such a good cinematographer. Denis Villeneuve is just such a good director. Timothée Chalamet, great actor. Rebecca Ferguson as Lady Jessica, awesome. Feyd-Rautha, Austin Butler as Feyd-Rautha, awesome. Best casting. I was so confused when I first heard the casting. I was just like, I don't know if that's gonna work. I watched the movie and I was like, I watched the trailer and I was just like, why is Bill Skarsgård in this? And then I was like, oh, that's bald Austin Butler. That's terrifying. And then I watched the movie and it was actually so good as Feyd-Rautha. I was just like, wow, why did I ever doubt this? Um, yeah, it was really good. Megamind versus the Doom Syndicate. Awful, terrible movie. What are you doing here? More Batman. Oh god. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something about something. Right, Megamind versus the Doom Syndicate. Awful movie. I don't understand why it was. They had a budget. What was the budget again? It was like shit. Shoot. Right. Megamind versus the Doom Syndicate. Budget? Significant. Allegedly, it was 130 million, but that is not 130 million. That was not a $130 million movie. That was awful. It was so bad. It's everything about it. I only watched it once, and I turned it off in the middle of watching it because it was so bad. It was just so bad. Oh my god. Animation was terrible. Voice acting was terrible. No wonder it was a straight to streaming movie. That would have sucked. Kung Fu Panda 4 was fun. It was fun. I feel like they definitely don't need to keep doing this. Especially since they excluded the Furious 5 in this. That like they explained in some like cheesy way that they were like off on an adventure, right? But but like, it was so cheesy, and it was. I don't want to say the movie was bad. It was just fun, and it could have been a lot more. There wa- They also just need to stop hiring Aquafina. She's like not great, honestly. Um, but I mean, yeah, it was a fun movie. Jack Black's cover of "Hit Me, Baby, One More Time" was also so funny. Um, yeah, it was just really great. It was, it's, it's fun. It's just fun. That's what it is. It's just fun. Uh, Arthur the King, also, it's pretty good movie. Um, I think it was, it's definitely a Mark Wahlberg movie. It's definitely a sports movie, right? It's definitely an animal movie. Um, you know, so it definitely has like all those elements, because like, there's a sports team, right? And there's a sports team. They're jogging down the where was it? It was like in the middle of the Amazon or something. And they meet a dog, and they befriend dog, and doggo is nice, and doggo's a stray too. It's a stray doggo, and doggo need family. And so the the joggers sort of take him in, but they don't make number one. And also, doggo is sick because stray doggo is sick doggo. So they take him home to to the states. They fly him across the to the states, and they see that he's a sick doggo because he's a stray doggo, and doggo almost dies. Oh no, poor doggo. But in the end, doggo is all healthy, and it doggo. Sports and doggo. That's the best way I could describe this movie. Um, but I mean, it was good. It was enjoyable. Um, I feel like the more movies I saw this year, the more it kind of like got docked down. Uh, yeah. What's next? Ghostbusters was fun. Most of the movies I saw at the beginning of the year were just like fun movies, right? A good majority of them were just fun movies. And then in the middle of the year, we got like, excuse me. Um, yeah. Why was that there? Why was that there? Ew, I haven't seen these yet. Yet. These are just a fraction of what I saw this year. I didn't even see this year yet. Let's see. So, where was I? I was at Ghostbusters. Fun movie, right? Definitely not as good as Afterlife or the first movie, because it took a lot of inspiration from the animated Ghostbusters TV show. Um, but yeah, it's just a fun movie. Um, Bill Murray was fun. Paul Rudd was fun. There's all the like again. I don't want to say that it's bad because it was a good movie, but it was just a fun, enjoyable movie. Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire, really good, really fun. Why is There's a snake in my boot. Snake, plastic snake. Yes. Sorry. What? Get out of here. No snakes were harmed during the streaming of this stream. um, what was I saying? Godzilla X Kong: New Empire, fun movie. But because it's Big Monkey and Big Lizard team up, to fight bigger monkey and bigger lizard, you know, and it's just ridiculous. God, Godzilla's pink now. He goes Super Saiyan and he turns pink, and Kong is a Kong has a mech arm, which is ridiculous, and I love it. Um, yeah, it was ridiculous. It's so fun, very fun. Monkey Man. Now we talk about uh big actual monkey, and now we talk about man with monkey mask and Monkey Man. It was fun, you know. I'm pretty sure it was Dev Patel's first time directing, which is so good. It wasn't. I don't want to say it was anything like spectacular. Um, it's also not Indian John Wick, right? Because John Wick was, this. It was like a self-contained action thriller, but this is, I don't, it's an action thriller, but there's a lot more elements of like, the cheesy martial arts movies, like Jackie Chan and Jet Li movies, and really, it was fun time. The some story elements I could have gone without, and I feel like it dragged on a little bit, but it was a fun movie. It was really good. Civil War was probably my favorite movie of 2024. Um, they did a really good job of explaining why the president in the movie is an absolute douchebag. Um, you know, is did a really good job explaining that. Um, and I think people need to pay attention because people were, they were watching that movie and they were going, well, I don't understand why the president's why the country's at war. And it's because the president's an asshole, and they're just like, well, I don't know why he's an asshole, and I'm just like, he dropped he sent airstrikes on American citizens. He's in his third term, which is unconstitutional, and he excuse me, and he's in his third term, unconstitutional, and he disbanded the FBI, which is not good. So Texans and California teamed up, which is odd team up, but okay. They teamed up to kill this guy. Uh, um, but you know, he, you know, and now the country's at war. But it's not like a action, it's not like an action war movie, and it doesn't follow, this disgruntled soldier. I almost called him a disgruntled shoulder. Um, it doesn't follow this disgruntled soldier who's, in the army, and he's all this big tough man. No, it follows a group of journalists who are trying to interview the president before these guys pop him in the head. you know um and they get into a bunch of hijinks along the way, right? They come across this abandoned city where there's a couple soldiers in their outposts. There's this one guy who's played by Jesse Plemons, who wasn't actually supposed to be played by Jesse Plemons. um yeah, I don't know who he was supposed to be played by, but yeah. um it was Jesse Plemons did a really good job. Terrifying. I almost, I no, because I actually thought I peed my pants when I was watching that scene in the theater. I was wrong, but because it was just my sweaty palms. Um, but yeah, great movie, great movie. Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, very fun. Oh, Civil War. Wait, Cinematography was awesome. Uh, Visual effects were awesome. Editing was awesome. Sound editing was awesome. Right. um, Good narrative. Right. What is this? Is this chapstick? No, lip gloss. Why is there lip gloss? What was I saying? Civil War. Right. Civil War. Great movie. Alex Garland is such a good director too. Anyway, Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. Probably the most fun movie I've seen this year. Um, right, the Guy Ritchie, great director, follows a group of uh British soldiers who are trying to take down Nazi Germany. Right, obviously. Oh wait, I don't know if I should trying to take down the mustache man. Um, what was I saying? Right. Trying to take down the mustache man. And, you know, in the end, yippee! Britain won. Yippee. Yay. Fun movie. I don't really know. I can't think of anything off the top of my head that makes it, bad. But it was just really fun. Really fun movie. Unsung Hero was a movie made by freaking Country, which is a Christian pop group. They're really good, really good. Um, I liked how in that movie they didn't try to shove. It wasn't just like forcing religion. It wasn't like trying to shove Christianity down your throat. But it had like subtle undertones, right? Instead, it was just like this family. It was about just a family trying to come together, and it followed it was based on a true story. It was based on a family that moved from Australia to Tennessee. I'm pretty sure it was Kentucky or Tennessee. um and you know stuff happens, and you know um economics stuff, paying rent or whatever. It doesn't really work out for them, but in the end, it works out. Yippee! Um, it was a great movie. Um, really good, really good. Fall Guy, super fun, super fun. David Leitch is such a good director. Ryan Gosling, really fun. Aaron Taylor Johnson's ridiculous in his role as the villain. Um, and what's his face? Um, I can't think of it. But yeah, it was a really fun movie. Follows this stunt guy who gets in this accident, and then he does some like I only saw it once, okay? But yeah, I thought it was really fun, really good movie. Um, I think oh yeah, it was just fun. Oh my god, Tarot. Give me a minute. uh, Tarot. Tarot is such a bad movie. Tarot is such a bad movie. I can't even. Um, it's just that stupid horror movie Final Destination bullshit. And it's a group of college kids who rent an Airbnb. They find this cursed deck of tarot cards, and then they're killed off by monsters one by one by one by one by one. And it's the dumbest Final Destination. It, people saw Final Destination once, and they were like, "Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that over and 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 over again." I can't wrap my head around how shitty that movie is. No, this is Tarot is the type of movie where it's like you're at a Halloween party, right? And you're watching like an actually good horror movie, like chat chat. I need to. It's actually good, like Halloween or something, right? And you just and then it's like you're watching that on Netflix, but then like you finish the movie and there are like three recommendations, right? And it's either you can either watch Nightmare on Elm Street, Tarot, or the Jared Padalecki Friday the 13th. And you're just like, huh, let's watch Tarot. And then you just turn that on, then you just watch that. Instead, you just make your Halloween cookies or, the stupid, like, it's bobbing for apples or whatever, and you just leave that on. It's like white noise or whatever. I don't know. That just don't watch this movie. It's so bad. It's such a bad movie, dude. Don't just don't just don't. It's so bad. It's so bad. Um, yeah, don't watch it. Let's see. So, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Great movie. Great visual effects. Owen Teague, great actor. Freya Allen, great actress. I watched the Andy Serkis Planet of the Apes movies to prep for this, right? Because I like to watch movies to prep for stuff. And great. Just great. And then you watch this, and it takes place 300 years after um, War for the Planet of the Apes. And it's the stuff. And it's really good. Really good. Um, Kevin Durant was great as the Proxima Caesar. And like the whole thing of Proxima Caesar is that he's the new leader, so to speak. And he's sort of like, using Caesar's words and like twisting them, right? Apes together strong, and ape not kill ape, right? And he's using those and like twisting them in his own mind, right? And he's great villain, great. Um, if that doesn't win best visual effects, then I'm gonna riot. um, if great movie, really good movie. Um, Ryan Reynolds was really fun. Um, Ryan Reynolds was really fun. The visual effects were great. I loved like the cartoony, style of it. Steve Carell was great. Um, the it was really good. Really good like family movie, right? Um, yeah, it was really good. Really, really good. Garfield was fun, it was Garfield, Chris Pratt as Garfield, right? And so that stuff. And you know, what was I gonna say? I forgot. But Garfield movie. It's just ridiculous. It's like this heist movie. It's so funny. So funny. Um Definitely not, like Oscar level stuff, but it was still fun. It was just really ridiculous, really ridiculous. Um, yeah, it was fun, funny stuff. Jesus Christ, Hitman, the Glenn Powell comedy, really, really good. Um, Costume design was hilarious. Just watching him dress up as all these hitmen and stuff. Um, yeah. Um, I'm sorry, my lips are so chapped, and I don't have chapstick. Um, yeah, Hitman was really fun, really funny. Uh, yeah, a lot of these movies I've only seen once, so like, if I just say it's good or it's funny or it's bad, then I don't really have really any major thoughts on it because I've only seen it once. But yeah, it was. Ugh, Hitman was funny. Young Woman in the Sea was really good, really good. It's about the pretty sure it was about the first woman to swim across the English Channel. And it was really good, really, really good. It's so strange to hear Daisy Ridley with an American accent. Very strange to hear Daisy Ridley with an American accent. Um, yeah, yeah, but she was really good. She was really good. The directing was really good. Um, yeah, it yeah, it was super good. No, uh, my apologies. Bad Boys, Ride or Die. It's fun. Fun action movie, right? It was just ridiculous. Lot of the cinematography was really great. Like the first person shots of them, like, firing their guns and stuff. Really fun. Um, yeah. Uh, Narratively, there was some stuff that didn't make sense, but again, it was just a fun, really, really fun movie. Inside Out 2 was so good. It was incredible. Um, Inside Out 2, so good. Animation was really good. Animation was really, really good. I think that I think they did a really good job of, like, because like the vault scene, and they're just blending all these animation styles together. Really good, really fun. Um, yeah. Uh, Narratively, really good, really, really good. Um, I think I can't think of anything like bad about it, right? Um, 'Cause I mean, it's a Disney Pixar movie. When you go to watch a Disney Pixar movie, you're gonna get a sad movie. But Excuse me. But I mean, yeah, it was just so good, so good. I'm gonna go blow my nose. I'll be right back. I have returned. Oof, I'm back. Where was I? Bike Riders. The Bike Riders. Super good movie. If it came down to Civil War or the Bike Riders, I'd probably pick Bike Riders. I'm a big fan of like crime stuff, like mafia stuff. This isn't really like mafia, because it starts out as just like a bike club, like a motorcyclist club that sort of progressively turns into mafia level stuff. Jesus Christ. But it was super good. Jodie Comer. I didn't know she's British. But Jodie Comer was super good. Austin Butler, super good. Probably, I think he was better in Dune, though. In my opinion, he was better in Dune. Because I mean, he was manic in Dune. But in this, he was just, he was a lot more subdued, and he was, a lot more calm and stuff. Tom Hardy was really good. I think that Jodie Comer is probably the biggest standout in this movie. Cinematography was great. The sound editing was great. Production design was great. Costume design was great. Makeup and hairstyling was great. Yeah, super good. Super good. Quiet Place Day One, really fun, really good. It's a quiet place, right? Christ Almighty. But yeah, it was super good. Long Legs. Long Legs was really good. Super good. Nicolas Cage was horrifying. Micah Monroe was super good. I think probably one of the best thrillers I've ever seen, like thriller horror stuff. Because I mean, it's not really like horror, but it's thriller with horror elements. Because I mean, it's a FBI agent who's trying to hunt down this killer, but the killer's a Satanist, so you're gonna get some horror elements in there. But yeah, I mean, you can definitely see like influences of like Silence of the Lambs. But I mean, when he was talking about the influences, Oz Perkins, writer director, said that Seven was nowhere to be found, because people thought that Seven was a big influence on this movie. No, it was not. Because he was like, I'm not gonna put a Brad Pitt movie on my list of influences. As perfect as Brad Pitt is, and as perfect as Seven is, I'm not putting a Brad Pitt movie on my list of influences. But I mean, yeah, it was Oh, I wish I got to see it in theaters. I wish I got to see it in theaters. It was so good. It was so good. Um, yeah. Twisters Twisters was good. Um, really great visual effects. I feel like this is the year of Glenn Powell. Glenn Powell's just like everywhere now, and he's really good. Um, not much I can say after that. Deadpool and Wolverine was ridiculous, ridiculous and fun and ridiculous. Because I mean, it's Ryan Reynolds in a Deadpool movie, obviously. He brought Wolverine back, which was awesome. Um, yeah, it was. The jokes were really funny too. Hello? Oh, never mind. Um, Deadpool and Wolverine was really good. Deadpool and Wolverine was really good. Really funny. Cameos were all over the place, but they were ridiculous and it was fun. Harold and the Purple Crayon was also fun. Probably like my least favorite movie this year. Like I liked it, but not my favorite, right? Um, because I mean, I wasn't really expecting anything good out of this. But I mean, it was fun. I don't even really like Zachary Levi anymore. I don't really like him anymore. Um, Borderlands was awful. It was really bad. Every character in that movie was horribly miscast, and I think that Lionsgate needs to do better. Yeah. Okay, never mind. Union was fun. It's again a Mark Wahlberg action movie. It's gonna be ridiculous. It's gonna be fun. Yeah. The Crow. Okay, get ready to hear me yap. Because this movie is utter dog shit. The Crow 2024. The Crow 2024 is the worst movie of this year, in my opinion. And I wholeheartedly believe that there was not a single person who was interested in actually giving that movie heart. That was a disgrace. I'm not one of those guys who's like, oh, this is only Brandon can be the Crow, because I mean, they've tried and none of them have been good. But I had hopes. I had hopes that this was going to be good because they said that it was going to be it wasn't going to be a remake of the movie. It was going to be a readaptation of the book, and that they were going to delve more into Eric and Shelley's relationship, and that it was going to be dark and gritty. And I'm just like, dark? Yeah, no kidding. I couldn't see shit. Two, what do you mean you were going to flesh out Eric and Shelley's relationship? You hardly did anything. You just speed ran through a weekend, made it 40 minutes. He was really getting no, because I mean, you watch this movie and like, they meet at rehab because they're both junkies and they meet at rehab, and there's this moment where like they escape the rehab because this girl's on the run. She gets arrested for possession of drugs, and then she goes to rehab, and and then she meets Eric at rehab because he's also a junkie, and so she goes out, and the people who are looking for Shelly are at the rehab, which I don't know how the fuck they found her, but they did. They found her, and now her and Eric have to escape. And it's so weird because Eric is just like, I know the way out. So you know the way out, but you decided not to go until now? Like what? Um and then they're running through the woods, and then they're hitchhikers, and then they don't hide in some rural Arkansas, bar or whatever. They decide to, hide in. They decided to go to a friend's apartment in the city, a friend that is most likely also being hunted by the woman who's hunting Shelly. So good going there. And then they do it, which I'm just like, you just met. I'm I almost walked out of the theater. I paid good money to see this movie and it was bad. I almost walked out of this movie. It was so bad. But then, Eric and Shelly killed, right? And Eric and Eric meets this guy in purgatory, and he's just like, hey, you come back to life and kill everyone, and you get to save Shelly. In the comic, there was no saving Shelly. She was dead. There's no saving her, and there's nothing that he can do about it other than kill the people who killed him. So then he goes on this rampage, right? And goes terrorizing innocent civilians, kill the people who killed him. So then he goes on this rampage, right? And goes terrorizing innocent civilians who had no deal in Eric, no deal in Eric and Shelley's murder, and it was just so bad. You know what it felt like? It felt like the Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance. If The Crow 1990, if Brandon Lee's The Crow 1994 is the first Ghost Rider movie, then The Crow 2024 is Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance. It takes the character, the Crow, and just does everything away with it to the point where it's just the name, where it's just the Crow in name alone. Because again, I said that they were gonna be, they were gonna. It wasn't a remake of the movie. It was a readaptation of the book. And it was just like, what book did you read? Because this is not the James O'Barr book. It was so bad. It was just so bad. Okay, but I'm trying to work on a screenplay for my own Crow movie, and I think I want Austin Butler to play the Crow. I think he'd make a really good Crow, honestly. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, Beetlejuice. Really good. Really, really good. Really fun. Because it's a Tim Burton movie. It was. I can't. I don't think I can express how much I loved this movie because of how fun it was. But it was so fun. Really fun. Costume design was great. Production design was great. Makeup and hairstyling was awesome. I don't think there's anything I would have changed about it really. But yeah, it was just so good. I love how they used practical effects again instead of using like digital effects, just to bring that like 80s feel back to it. I think the only thing that would have made it better was just using excuse me, use it, shooting it on film, you know, instead of like digital cameras. Unless you could find like ancient digital cameras. Rebel Ridge was super good. Rebel Ridge was really, really good. I think I mean it's just a great movie. Um the the whole like plot of the movie is like you're messing with the wrong guy, and then they just stretch that out for like how I'm sorry, how long is it? Rebel Ridge, 2 hours and 10 minutes. It was no, and the way that they shoot the scene too was so good. Um, yeah, Killer's Game. It was ridiculous, just ridiculous. Penguin. Apologies. Penguin is probably the best TV show of 2024. Changed my mind. The whole thing about the Penguin is just, it just reinforces the idea that villains are villains. They're terrible people. Don't root for them. Because I mean, throughout the entirety of that show, I don't know who I was supposed to root for. Because I mean, Oz sucks. I I love Oz so much that Oz sucks so much that I love him. Right? It's it's terrible, 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 terrible. It was awful. I love it. Um, I love how it went into, you know, how it led into Batman Part 2. And yeah, I'm very excited for that. Transformers 1, super fun. Really good. Um, what's his name? Brian Tyree Henry was great as Megatron. Um, I really liked it. I think if you like the Penguin, you should watch The Sopranos. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I've been meaning to watch The Sopranos for a long time. I've been meaning to watch it, but I had no way to watch it. Uh, yeah. Transformers 1 was super good. I like the animation style of it. Really, really felt like the G1 figures and all that stuff. It's like if they it's kind of reminded me of like if they did like really fluid like stop motion, but then just like CG'd over it, right? Because I mean, those the that animation was super good. The Wild Robot is the best animated movie of 2024. I think that, and I got the book series for Christmas too, which was very fun. I think it's just so good. I did not cry 4 times in the theater. Did not. I did not do that. I did not. Um, the animation was great. So I mean, it's a DreamWorks movie. You're gonna get that one way or another. um, yeah, I think there's nothing I would change about it. Nothing. Animation was great. The themes of, kindness is a survival skill. That was great. Yeah, voice acting was great. Saturday Night, based on a true story of the first ever Saturday Night Live, and it. I think the best part about that movie was the music because it's simple and repetitive, which made the whole movie feel tense because it's 2.5 hours and they're prepping for a 90-minute show with 3 hours worth of material. How do you do that? You can't. Exactly. I think that acting was great. I think the only actor that didn't really fit was Dylan O'Brien as Chevy Chase. Not Chevy Chase, Dan Aykroyd. Because the whole time, because like I knew him from Maze Runner, and the whole time I was watching it, I was like, oh, it's the guy from Maze Runner. And I wasn't thinking, wow, that's Dan Aykroyd. However, with like Gilda Radner or Chevy Chase uh, or like Billy Crystal, I was like, wow, that's Gilda Radner, that's Chevy Chase, that's Billy Crystal. And I was like, yeah, yeah. It was just so good. The production design was great. I'm pretty sure they shot it on I think they shot it on what is they shot it on film. It was really good. Really, really good. Joker, Folie à Deux. I liked it. Yes, you heard me. I liked it. I think I don't know what happened because either money happened, either the first movie dropped and money happened, so they were forced to make a sequel, or Todd Phillips did want to make a sequel and wanted to try something new with it and ended up making utter dog shit. So either the first movie happened, then money happened, then Warner Bros. Was like, hey, Todd Phillips, you gonna write us a sequel? And he was like, sure. And then he wrote dog shit on purpose. Or what happened was he wanted to make a sequel from the start and wanted to try something new with it, and then ended up making dog shit accidentally. Either way, I actually kind of liked it. I'm in the minority who liked it. Yeah, I think I mean, there were like some things, but I mean, the courtroom drama, and stuff. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I liked it. Sue me, I liked it. Costume design was great. Production design was great. Cinematography was great. The music was actually really fun. Yeah. I'm going to avoid talking about The Apprentice because I don't want to get flamed by people. Goodrich is a movie about a man who's divorced and needs to end up taking care of his kids on his own. So it should be a drama, right? Nope, it's a comedy. Which I don't understand how you really make jokes about that, especially when this guy has his oldest daughter is about to have a child. So, there were dramatic moments and there were funny moments, but sometimes the dramatic moments cut the funny moments too short. Have you seen Iron Claw? I haven't yet. Wait, when did it come out? Wait, what? Iron Claw? Oh, Iron Claw. Right. I haven't seen that yet. I haven't seen it. I've been meaning to for the longest time. I've heard it was super good. Um, yeah. Um, Goodrich, I think, I think that it definitely it had a lot going for it, but it was just cut too short. Because I mean, it's a drama and it's a comedy, and a lot of the dramatic moments were cut off by funny moments, and a lot of the dramatic moments were cut off by the funny moments, and a lot of the funny moments were cut off by drama, and that doesn't really work, honestly. It just so it was okay, I guess. Yeah. Conclave was so good. Conclave was super good. Uh, Production design was great. Ralph Fiennes was fantastic. Directing was fantastic. Yeah. Uh, Production design was great. Costume design was great. Ralph Fiennes was great. Cinematography was awesome. Uh, I love cinematography that breaks the rule of thirds, or so, like foreground, middle ground, background. The only time that really applies is with landscape shots. That's really it. But I mean, yeah, it's great. Here was really good. Um, it's a movie, and the camera does not move the entire time, and yeah, it it's the Forrest Gump. It was Tom Cruise, not fucking Tom Cruise, Tom Hanks, Robin Wright, and Robert Zemeckis. And the visual effects were really great to make them look young again. Um, I think, despite the fact that the camera did not move, the cinematography was great. I think that the the makeup was really great too to make them look old in the final shot. And I think what was I gonna say? I think the directing was great. I think the music was awesome. Hello? I just heard something squeaking in here. I don't know. It's my chair. Journal number 2. I saw that last night. That was really good. Um, it's definitely Clint Eastwood's 12 Angry Men, but with a twist, right? Because it turns out that you know this guy's called for jury duty, and as he's listening to the case and slowly figuring stuff out, he realized that he's the you know he's the killer, really, and it was a hit and run. Um, so I mean, it was super good. It was really good. Yeah, Gladiator 2 was awesome. To answer anyone's question, I don't really think about the Roman Empire too much until I'm forced to think about the Roman Empire. Um, Denzel Washington was the best thing about that movie, other than the production design. Production design was really great. The Yeah, so production design was great. Costume design was awesome. Um, the Yeah, production design was great. Costume design was awesome. Uh, the cinematography was great. Obviously, because I mean, it's a Ridley Scott movie. It's not going to be the most historically accurate thing in the world. Because I mean, you look at Napoleon, and that was those certainly took choices. Yeah, it was. But I mean, you know, the Gladiator 2 is, yeah, it was really good. For anyone wondering, no, I did not see Wicked, and I do not intend to see Wicked. Lord of the Rings, War of the Rohirrim. That was also really good. I haven't read the Silmarillion, so I don't exactly know how accurate it is. Defying gravity. Dude, I can't stand that stuff. I just can't. No, I went to the theater a lot this year, if you couldn't tell, and I shit you not, they were playing the trailer for Wicked, that stupid trailer, before every single movie, and I just could not. I was so ready to just rip my ears off. I just could not. Lord of the Rings was great. Really, really great. Yeah. I don't exactly know how accurate it is to the Silmarillion. So I don't know if it's, accurate to the Silmarillion or if it's just a prequel meant to fit in with Peter Jackson's headcanon. But I mean, hey, it was good either way. I think that oh Jesus, hold up. I'm sorry. I was so happy to see movies in December after Wicked had come out. That way I didn't have to sit through that stupid trailer the 700th time. I cannot stand it. I could not stand it. Sonic 3 was super fun, super good. Keanu Reeves was really good as Shadow. Ben Schwartz is perfect as Sonic. Gerald Robotnik and Jim Carrey as his two characters were so funny. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but yeah, it was so fun. It was so fun. Action was really good too. Nosferatu. This movie was so good. This movie was so good. Production design, costume design, makeup and hairstyling, awesome. Obviously, because I'm convinced that was not Bill Skarsgård as Count Orlok. Did you hear that Jim Carrey's script for Sonic 3 was printed in gold? What? Hold up, wait. Jim Carrey, Sonic 3. Script. Proof and article. Hold up, wait. I need to see this now. The wild, expensive demand Jim Carrey had to return his Dr. Robotnik. That's awesome. That's so funny. Nosferatu was so good. I think Bill Skarsgård. This was definitely a redemption for Bill Skarsgård. because that Crow movie was utter dog shit. And I think that Nicholas Hoult, Lily Rose Depp was probably the biggest standout from this movie. Her, Bill Skarsgård, and Willem Dafoe. Those are the best performances in that movie, in my opinion. In my opinion, Nosferatu is better than Dracula because I believe that Nosferatu does enough differently from Dracula, and it makes it, and those things that it does makes Nosferatu more interesting than Dracula. And I think that it was just so good. I saw someone I saw a review that said that they didn't like Nosferatu because it tackles with themes of how immigration is bad or whatever. It doesn't tackle with themes of immigration. It's just a freaky vampire movie. Get over yourself. Yeah, it was so good. Really, really good. And I'm not gonna mention what Nicholas Hoult has. What Nicholas Hoult was given as a gift, because I don't know what'll happen. But yeah, it was a great movie. Really great movie. Now movies that I'm excited for in 2025 are, actually, you know what? First, I'm gonna do a little ranking. I'm gonna do a little ranking of the movies that I saw in 2024. I think. Can I share my screen? Oh, I can. All right, hold up. I'm gonna do this in docs. This is gonna be terrible. Oh, come on. Are you seriously gonna do this? Wow. That's dumb. Okay, never mind. So I can't share my screen. Hello. Can it see? Hold up. Wait. All right, never mind. Never mind. So I think number one is probably Break Riders. Number two is Civil War. Number three is Wild Robot. Number four is Dune Part 2. Number five is Unlegs. That's my ranking for movies I saw this year. Bike Riders, Civil War, Wild Robot, Dune Part 2, and Longlegs. Movies I'm excited for in 2025. Wolfman. Wolfman, Superman, and Fantastic Four First Steps. Those are, out of the ones that I know of, those are the ones I'm most excited for this year. Yeah. And now I have nothing else to talk about. So, probably just gonna end the stream here. Bye-bye.